How's everyone doing today? I have had a long morning. I've had a long morning. We had some plans. We had some plans for today, and some of those plans are getting put until Saturday. Some of those plans. Now, I have gotten where, check this out. I have gotten where you can see my desk. That was more work than it should have been. That was more work than it should have been. You can see my coffee too. Maybe I'll move my coffee somewhere so you're not staring at my coffee. All right. One thing that I need a second camera. That's for sure. This main shot is fantastic, but I do need a second camera. This is my phone, and it's not a great experience at this point. It's not a great experience. Maybe we'll zoom in just a little. Okay. Oh, look at that. That's what we really need to see. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's not a really super great experience. It's caused me more issues than I care to elaborate on. But we can see it now. We can see what I'm working on right here. And yeah, if you guys know of a good secondary cam, I don't want to get an expensive camera like I have for my front recording. But I spent like an hour and a half trying to get the my kids have a little GoPro 10 that they run around and record with. And I could not, for the life of me, get that thing to actually work as a webcam. I couldn't do it. It was the worst. Now, you know what I'm going to need to do? I'm going to need to configure my Steam Deck really quickly to have this new scene. So we can switch to it. What? Oh, I'm so bad. At what is this? Scene. I just want scene. Where is scene? Oh, there we go. I found it. Okay, cool. We're gonna get this. We're gonna switch to the main with desk. Cool. So now we should be able to go from here to here. Cool. With my desk. Awesome. Got a kink in my neck doing that. Okay. Awesome. It's not. There we go. This little jerry-rigged arm that I have is not great. Not fantastic, but it is what we have. So it is what it is. All right. So I have Arduino Studio. I thought eventually it'd be nice to do everything via the command line. I have never done that before, except with these guys, these ARM or RISC ones. I've done it with the RISC ones, but I've never done it with these. So for right now, maybe we're just going to use Arduino Studio to do everything. I thought I'd go ahead and run through the setup just so if people were interested. I don't know if I ever make long form videos on microcontrollers. I don't know if people really like it. I'll make some long form, like how to set these things up. maybe how to do the things via the command lines. I'll have to learn, which is cool. Yeah, I've never flashed. I mean, there's flashing utilities. This is just calling some utility, right? To flash the board. So for those of you who are just joining, what we're doing is we wrote or are writing a web server to control some lights. I have some lights here that we're going to play around with, testing here. And so yeah, we're gonna work in tandem. Probably whenever I stream next week, we'll be doing some of this. And I'm gonna be writing some C. You'll see me write some C. We're gonna use the Adafruit NeoPixel library. So this is another thing that is really convenient about Arduino Studio. Is you can go manage libraries. Again, I'm sure that we can do this all from Vim, all of it. Is there a dark mode? I am like flashbanging you guys each time. Dark mode, theme, light, dark. Okay, there we go. No more flashbanging. You guys are safe. Safe at last. We also need to up the size. Does control wheel? No. No. Let's see. Maybe that's in preferences too. Font size. We're going to do what? 26? Make it something legible. Ah, that's much better. Can you guys read that fine? I'm going to assume that's a yes. Is there the rest of it? That didn't actually up the UI over here, but that's maybe okay. It's like the less important aspect is this over here, so oh well. Okay, we want the NeoPixel library. Let's see. Oh, Adafruit NeoPixel. Yep. Install that one. So why this? We want to drive these LEDs, and they made a nice library for doing that. They also have examples of how to use it, which is pretty nice. So we'll be leveraging some of these to play around with it. We've got to build a set of commands. And so, yeah, that's what we'll be doing, is building commands. And flashing them to this. All right. The other thing we need to do is install the ESP32. That's what we're using. I believe we can just go here and just install ESP32. ESP32. I think this is it, but I have some instructions just in case. Let's see. Let's see what they say here. Install IDE, fine. Preferences. We gotta add the board manager. Okay. That I forgot about that. I forgot about the board manager. Additional board manager URLs. Here we go. Boom. So now when we select this, we got to find the board, ESP32. All right. Install that. Let's see. Install the one by Expressive or by Arduino? Man, they're almost the same version. I'm just going to go with the Arduino one. We'll see. We'll see if that one works. While that's working, we're going to take a look at, let's see. We're going to take a look at simple. Yeah. We're just going to copy and paste all of this into here. And then we're going to delete this. We'll see if this works at all. Oh, we got to save this. Let's call it test null lights. Cool. So the idea will be that this actually communicates with that this actually communicates with our server. So basically our server is going to be sending commands, not sending, we'll just pull. It could send, they'll be on the same network. So like in theory, we could spin this up where it listens. But I feel like that if anything, we maybe make this a web server other people can leverage. So we'll do it the standard way. All right. We don't have 16, do we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We do have 16. Okay, so this is perfectly set up for our NeoPixel ring. Cool. Should we just hook this bad boy up? Let's do some jumpers just to get a hot rail really quickly. Let's see. Here's a 3-volt. And then let's hook up ground. Could we have different colored wires? Absolutely, we could. Do we, is the important question. And the answer to that is we do not. So that goes there, that goes here. And then this, we'll just throw on pin 6. And by 6, I mean 19. Absolutely outstanding. Pin 19. That's our favorite pin, right? I don't know that this is going to work, but we're going to try it. Let's see if it even uploads. I feel like something's wrong. Oh. Wait. We're missing a fully qualified board name. We got it right here. Uh-oh. We did not set up everything. We did this. Yep. Open the boards manager. You'll go to board manager. You can simply click on the board manager icon. Search for, let's see. Yep, we did this. Let's see if they picked a different one. See, this is... I went with this one. You know, let's restart. Let's restart. All right. Oh, okay. I need 114, it said. I didn't read that, so we're going to install this one. I should have done the expressive. That was my bad. That was my bad. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, do I need a resistor? I do not believe I need a resistor because these actually have the resistors in there. You can, I don't know that you can see them, but there are little resistors in there. So I don't know that I actually need the resistor. So I'm going to try without the resistor. We'll see if we get any of the classic problems of not having a resistor. Otherwise, we won't worry about it. Otherwise, we will not make any worries. It's still processing. It's still processing. Do we need a... Is this a digital pen? Okay. So the one thing I don't know here... Let's get a pen out really quickly. This is not what I want. I wanted this is what I want. There we go. Hopefully this is the same for all. I don't have a Upezi. That's a fun name to say though, Upezi. I'm in support of it. All right, let's select a new board. Let's upload. We'll remove this. Yes. Arduino, you failed us. ESP32. Is this what we want? I don't think so. I just want the ESP32, like dev board. We can do this. Maybe, oh, this is the one we want. It's by the expressive. Okay. I think that's the one we want. I think. Let's upload. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's in Python. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. That's not cool. No module named serial. Feels like bad. It's just failing to import serial. Why? Why? All right. It's pin 19. Oh, this one. Pin 19. This one might be okay. Why? So ESP32 from Expressive is failing on import serial. Can we just Python install serial and fix this? Is that what we need to do? Pip install. It terrifies me that this is all Python. Maybe it's pip 3. Do I not have pip? I might not have pip. So this is all on a new install of Arch. I haven't actually done this on this one. Okay, so why does... Oh, wait, maybe I need to sudo pip? Yeah. It is pip, isn't it? Help me, pip. I have Python. One second. Let's look this up. Arch pip. Do you have to install pip separately? I thought pip just came with Python. Obviously, I'm wrong. One second. I did yay. So there is no pip in... That blows my mind. Arch doesn't have a pip package? Is that for reals? For realsy? Oh, Python pip. Oh, okay. My bad. Python pip. Oh. Okay. So... Okay, this makes sense. I guess we just need to do it with Pac-Man. What were we installing? Oh, Serial. That's right. All right, now let's see if this works. Let's restart Arduino. Let's give that a shot. Let's upload that. All right, let's Google it. Actually, let's chat GPT it. Let's chat GPT this. Oh, pie cereal. My bad. My bad. I gotta do pie cereal. Let's see if that actually works. No. How to install on Arch. Install Pi serial on Arch. Oh, Python Pi serial. All right. My bad. I don't do all this Python-y stuff. Kind of makes me feel gross that to write C, I've got to write, I got to get Python. All right. Are we ready? Maybe. We'll see. Hey, we got a different one. No diffuse capable USB device available. You know what? I'm not going to say DFU, but, go DFU. I have no idea what that means. I'm wondering if it doesn't like my cord. Oh, okay. So it's having a hard time with the port? Oh. Let's see. So I'm guessing we're not actually mounted there. That's my guess. Let's actually just, we can do sudo ls, what is it at? What are we, where are we? Yeah, it's dev dty. Now, I have this plugged into my keyboard, plugged into my computer. Maybe that's the problem. I have a lot of stuff here. So we do not see our current port that we're looking for, right? The TTY USB. I don't think we want those. So let's actually unplug this and see if it changes anything. It did. It did. Okay. Which one went away? Which one went away? $225 lines. We plug it in. 227 lines. So there are more. There's two more. Which ones are they? We're using the Arduino Nano ESP32. Is there another ESP32? That's what they're selecting. Let's see. Can I put this in bootloader mode? Yeah, I can. Does that fix it? So let's just try this one. Wait. We know that we don't have we do have TTY USB 0. Do we have it when we unplug this? Do we have it when we unplug this? No, we don't. So we know that TTY USB 0 is the one that we want. Yeah, see? All right. So the other thing that I can think of is that this cable that I have is not a data cable. I had to get a long one. So let me go get another one of these cables, and we'll see if that is part of the issue. So let me go get another cable. Be right back. All right. Getting another cable. I'll be right back. All right. Here's another one. Another one. Let's change back to the Arduino one. All right, let's see what this guy has. Reset the board. All right. Got some resetting done. We have... That's our only serial port. Let's try a different bootloader. I don't think that's really going to make a difference. Yeah. Oh, you know what? You know what? Does this not have permissions? Does it not have permissions? I don't know. And it really seemed to work. This just worked on my my Ubuntu laptop. It just worked last time. This is no good. Let's see. Might happen when you upload a sketch after you have selected your board and the serial port, you get an error opening serial port. You'll get this error. You need to set serial port permissions. So they're saying just to add my user to this. Okay. Well, I guess it's not called dial out. We'll just do it to TTY. We'll see. We'll see if it was a permissions. Now, it said it couldn't. The port doesn't exist, which I feel like could be... permissions. The port obviously exists. Oh, you know what? I do want to set this back to... yeah, I was just playing around. I want to set this back to this, which gives us a little bit different, but effectively the same thing. USB device available. Yeah. Okay. But why? Oh, this one is actually... you know what? Now let's try... no DFU. I will need to log out. Shoot. Shoot. You know what, though? It's okay. I can do that. We can do this. Now, if I was a pro streamer, I'd have already done this, but I thought it was... I've done this on my laptop before. I thought it was going to be easy. That's what I thought. I'm just going to reboot. Just going to reboot. Is that overkill? That might be overkill. Wait. Oh. Like, why wasn't it rebooting? I'm just going to reboot. How is my computer still working? How is my stream still going? Can I see Twitch chat? No, I cannot. No, I cannot. There is no signal. Thank you, Elgato. Thank you for that. How can you still see my desk? Look at that. It's beautiful. Beautiful. I do like this ability. I do like this ability of the 2 PC setup. I do like this ability. Where nothing I screw up on my computer affects my face. The only truly important part of this stream. I still can't see Twitch chat. When we're booted back up, I will get Twitch chat up. I will get YouTube chat up. I will get all the chats up when we're back. Am I back? Almost. Almost. Just logging in. And then I'm going to get all the chats up, and it will take just a second. It will just take a second. Hopefully, though, hopefully, this sledgehammer approach has worked. Hopefully. I don't know, chat. I don't know if a scrub like me was ever meant to do something quite so challenging. I don't know. All right. Almost up. Almost back up. Okay. Everything's coming back now. Chat's up. All right. Everything's back up. Are we ready to try this again? Do you think that worked? Do you think it was just a permission error? Oh. That didn't fix it. That didn't fix it. We do have this one now since I reset it. Still not the right port. Delightful. Delightful. There's no other ESP32 stuff. No. We didn't look at TTYSO. Let's see. What were we looking at? Oh, that's right. These were looking at the AMC port. I don't know. We'll just do all of dev. And what was the new port that we were looking at here? You know what? Actually, let's do TTY at least. That was a little bit much. TTYSO is UUCP. We added UUCP. We didn't add, and we added TTY. So maybe it's not a permission thing. We added Marek, my user, to both groups. Let's do this. Arch install Arduino. Maybe I screwed this up. Let's try a new rule where no acronyms are allowed. You don't want a little SO with your TTY? I'm ashamed of you. I don't know what's gone wrong here. I've never actually installed Arduino on Arch before, but obviously one does not just simply install Arduino Studio on Arch. Obviously. That was my mistake for making that assumption. Yep, got that. See, we're not registering as an AMC device, right? And it's complaining that it's no DFU. So it is registering as a TTY USB. Is Arch my favorite distro? I don't know. I really like Ubuntu. I think Ubuntu is nice. It just works for the most part. Part of why I have Arch here is to learn Linux a little bit better. I've never really learned Linux very well. And so part of installing Arch was just to, instead of going with a distro that just works, go with one that has really great support for everything. So for that, I think it's really great. I used to be a Windows developer, so, you know. So, yeah. For that, I think it's really great. Arch has like a ton of how-tos and whatnot. So for people like me, I think if you're really wanting to learn Linux better, Arch is kind of like happy medium. It almost just works. It almost just works versus like Ubuntu. I almost guarantee you that this was done for me because it just worked on my laptop when I was messing around with this. I liked Windows development. So I did stuff with GPUs on Windows, and that wasn't so bad. I was a Windows GPU developer, and then I went to running microservices that were .NET Core, and then I went to running microservices that were Golang, that were on Linux, but I developed them effectively not knowing anything about Linux. Like I didn't need to know, it was just microservices, just HTTP and whatnot, and gRPC. So for most of it, I haven't actually needed to know Linux specifically. So the last couple of years, I've been learning it. Yeah, I've done a decent amount of CUDA. I did CUDA as well as I did some shader pipelines. Very much Windows DirectX shader pipelines. So actually, so one of the things that we're going to be doing in the next few days is PyTorch. If not next few days, next week sometime. I actually want to. So I know a lot of the math that goes behind these things, but I've never actually leveraged them. So I wanted to learn PyTorch. That's actually one of my challenges. Yesterday we had a pick a challenge, and PyTorch was one of them. So yeah, instead of just knowing the math behind it, I want to actually do some of the things, within reason. All right, so accessing serial. For the boards you want to expose UART over USB, it is necessary to allow rewrite access on the serial ports to the users. I thought that's what I did by adding myself to the group, but I guess I didn't do that. Reload UDev rules. How do I do that? Okay, I do it like this. I don't know what this is. So Dezo, then you're gonna have to help me. You're gonna have to help me. Because yeah, I don't know this stuff. I know linear algebra. I know you know, some of that stuff. I also have studied up on like the neural networks math and those types of things, and some of the other stuff, as well as like the tensors and what they do. But again, like this is like understanding the building blocks, but never building anything with them. So like I said, I'm going to be learning. All of next year, this is what I want to do next year for our learning. These are the learning arcs that I want to do. Distributed systems kind of my jam. I like doing these types of things, so I'm happy to, but I want to learn more. But you know, part of it learning is also sharing what I learn, so that's there. I want to do more of learning, like basic machine, like actually using machine learning, using basic machine learning, and I'll make videos off of the stuff we learn on stream, and some security hacking. I think security is super important, that every dev knows at least the basics. And I know how to use Nmap. That's about, yeah, I know how to use Nmap. That's about it. So I definitely am going to look to learn a little bit there. Monta, how are you doing? All right, we reloaded that. We've written the file. Let's see if this actually works. I need to understand what UDev ADM. Oh, so this is a UDev manager, UDev ADM. We need to man UDev ADM. Let's just Google it. Understanding Linux UDev. This is why I'm on Arch. This is why I'm on Arch. Absolutely love the Arch's teams actually documenting all of my stupid questions. You lost brain cells creating a tokenizer for a database in C++. At least you admitted it. At least you admitted it. I'm losing brain cells, hair cells, and other things. Other cells. Oh, wait. They did say to reconnect the board. So instead of setting this up last night, I set up this. Now you guys can see my desk. Isn't that, I mean, not that we've done anything with it, but you guys can see it. This was ultra painful to set up. I need to buy another camera because now it's my phone, and it's actually this really, really sketchy thing that I have set up where I'm actually streaming the video over Wi-Fi from my phone. So I need to buy maybe before we buy you know, my home lab, my Oxide computer stack. Maybe I'll get a camera. Don't tell Dutch. Don't tell Dutch that I might use his ad money for another camera if you guys like this and we try to do this stuff more often. Although right now I'm in pain and suffering mode. Oh, wait. Maybe I'm on the wrong port right now. Okay. Let's try this one. This is gonna work. I have a good, not a great feeling, just a little bit of a good feeling. All right. We need to. All right. So access and serial port. I do believe this stands for a curse word, which is. It seems about right. This is about as good as it gets. What is this doing? You didn't state anything that this was doing. Monta, that's awesome. That's awesome. You'll have to join the stream sometime and talk about it. I don't know what I'm running here. So there's nothing running on TTY ACM0. Yeah, I was going to say there's I don't know that I need to set this up because this is just a I'm not using an Arduino. I think I'm just doing the serial. Oh no, do I need to do more rules? I think I did. Okay. If you finish it. Oh, well, that's what I feel about right now with this. All right, we're gonna make this file. I thought we already did this. Now, do I need to reset something? Let's see. Do I need to reload something? Do I need to log out and log in? So one thing you'll learn about databases, Monta, is that if you look at the stack, the null database right now is literally just file access. And usually there's a stack that runs. You can use a log database for a SQL database. If you actually think about it. Not saying that we want to. I'm just saying you can. If you're coming over here and looking at this, we're looking at the, file management. But then you can build stuff on top of that leverages that. And a lot of databases take this approach. Now, some write their own. So, let's look at the Postgres stack. I don't know. That's not the right way of looking at it. But they have their own file management layer. And you might leverage it a little bit differently. And definitely you could make it work better for a Postgres style library because, it's key and value, but the key could be the row number. You think about it that way. The key could be that, and you store everything in that row in that file. Does that make sense? Where like your row would be a log. So every log would be a row. log would be a row, would be a row. So that row is all stored on file together. And yeah. So anyways, that's kind of how you would use the log-based database. Now, you could also do like a page-based database like binary trees like to use. And actually, a lot of them do a page-based database because it's simpler with B trees. All right, so this is still not working. This is still not working. Do I need to log out after doing this? Or do I need to do a system D reload? Because the Arch was saying, let's see. Which coordinates with system D login D. You know, we're going to do the daemon reload. We're going to do the daemon reload. And then if that doesn't work, we'll try a log out and log in. Log out is kind of annoying because I have to reopen everything, but... You're using a page-based? That's a very popular way of doing it. All right, so now... Oh, for sure. Okay. We're just going to log out. And we'll try logging back in. And now we got to reload everything. I can't see chat right now. I can't see chat. Can't do it. Oh, we're back. We're back, chat. We're back. Now I got to reorder my screens. Oh. I'm back. I was fast. All right. Let's see if that fixed it. Arduino. Gosh dang it. All right. Let's walk through if we missed anything else. Arduino. We did this. We did this. Didn't do that. I feel like this is okay, let's ask ChatGPT. Well, hopefully it's fun for you guys. Hopefully this has been fun for you guys, not me. Help. Help on Arch. Arduino ID is giving me this. Okay, so it would have been really helpful if somebody had told me this. If this is the issue, if this has been the issue, and no one told me, hey, you need this, no one told me, and it wasn't part of the Arch package. Okay. Whew. We did add my username to UUCP. We did do that. I did that. That was a long time ago. We did do this, right? We already did that, but we can, because we did LSA dev TTY star, and by A I mean L, and yeah, UUCP. So that's what we added. DFU programmer didn't seem to help. I didn't run udev trigger. Didn't run trigger. I don't know what ChatGPT is telling me to run, but I ran it. Let's restart this. I don't think it's the other port, by the way. It should be this one. All right, you know what I'm going to do? What I'm going to do is, this is connected to my keyboard technically, but that shouldn't be a problem, right? Shouldn't be a problem. My goodness. So I did this like a couple months ago on my laptop on Ubuntu, and I don't know. It just kind of worked. But so far, this has not. I don't use, this isn't Arduino, so it's not the ACM. We're using the USB. Right, non-genuine Arduino boards. It's not non-genuine. It's just ESP32. Yeah. We've done this. Well, maybe we just need to do something else for a little while, and I'll work on this later. I don't know that this is a very fun stream to do this. ESP32, no. I've obviously already read that. Not quite sure what else to try at this point. Let's see. Select. Wait for the updates to finish. Scroll through the list of platforms until see. Okay. This is what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if this cable doesn't have data upload. I know that there's something with cables. So maybe I need to go find another cable. Because these it's the what? The nano? The nano. When I was doing it on the laptop, I used a really short cable. And I was using these longer ones so that it could be, where you guys could see it. So maybe my son hasn't lost that short cable. He was leveraging it. Let me go find one or two more cables and we'll try those cables. Searching for another cable. Be right back. Sorry. So maybe it's the cable. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go look for a cable. Teleporting objects would be great. Although it would destroy the shipping industry overnight. All right, I'm going to have to admit to a problem. I am not a hoarder, but when it comes to cables, I might have a problem. I just went to my cable bin and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more of these cables. I always say you never know when you're going to need one of them. And they don't make these cables anymore. You can't just get rid of them. I might have a problem. Don't talk to my wife because she already thinks I keep too many cables. But this is why you never know when one of these isn't going to work. And you gotta try a different one. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to try this one. All right. Let's try this one. All right. Let's run that. You don't need to compile each time. You know, the other thing that I'm worried about, is like it is connected via my keyboard, which is connected via USB 3. Like, do I need to plug this right into the mothership? I don't have a long enough cable for that. We're going to test this though. Oh wait. We'll test it with the right port. Yeah, well, still might be a bad cable. I'm not going to unwind all of these because they're all nicely tied up. So you're not going to be able to see this because I'm going to leave it all wrapped up. All right, that cable didn't do anything different. Let's try this one. I have no hope for this one because it's long. People seem to say the long ones, no bueno. Let me upload you. Well, that was not the port that I thought would work. It should be the USB one. But it's still not working. And I'm using the ESP. We can try a different loader, but I don't think it's the bootloader that's causing the problem. Like this is the programmer I don't believe is the issue. Because like I tried the I tried the ESP32 dev module. And it gave a similar error. Not quite the same. Never mind. That one worked. Whatever. Whatever. You know, I just had to show you guys to prove that it didn't work. So it needed to just work. That's fine. Screw you, Arduino. Screw you. This cable's all twisty. All twisty, twisty, twisty. There you go. All right, well, this seems to be fine. I don't know. We can plug this back in. You guys can see what I'm doing. We can plug this back in. Oh, what pin? Did we say pin 19? Ah. Observe. Observe the absurdity. You guys can't actually see it. Can you? It's actually lighting up. If you look really closely, you can actually see it. It's too bright in here. It's too bright. 1 second, let me turn the lights off. There you go. Now you can see it. Well, that was dumb. That was stupid. First, everyone told me to use this programmer, the Arduino Nano one. Second, on top of that, earlier I tried ESP32 dev module. I tried it. Do you know what, though? Do you know what I didn't try with that one? Is I didn't do all the permission shenanigans first. So I bet you that one was legitimately a permission issue. And then I bet that was a legitimate permission issue. And then we fixed the permission issue, but we didn't try the other programmer again. Because I just assumed that, oh my gosh. Okay, well, there you guys go. And it's working now. It's working now. Okay. So let's change the color. Let's change the color. Let's upload that. I'm glad you guys saw it so that I didn't just look like a... Do you see the wobbling? I bet you that's because it's not running off a 5 volts signal. It's a 3.3 volt. See the wobble and the color shift? That has to do with the signal, the 3.3 volt versus 5 volt. So what we have to do is actually get this a 5 volt rail, which I'm not going to do right now. We'll just make it require less power. Two lights might be too much for it. We'll just do one color for time being. So each color is an LED in there, which is going to require more power the more that you have on. So just one is the least amount of power. And if we went up to like 255, the brightest, this would draw more power. Although you won't notice the color shifting, because what happens is there's only one LED. And why it color shifts is because of which color is easier to display. Whereas this is only green. So like if one gets dimmer, you don't necessarily notice it. So, but this is okay. We'll just do this for the time being. When we install the lights, though, we will we'll install them with. I can show you on the back of that one. Basically, we do 5 volts and we step 5 volts down for this. So this rail will be 5 volts, and the other thing is we can use this little guy. This will actually translate 5 volt to, or 3.3 volt logic to 5 volt logic. So the other thing that these are like is 5 volt logic. And we're sending it 3.3 volt logic, which can also cause problems. So all that being said, the color shifting that you saw, we can show it again. Watch this. This will be rough. This will be rough. This should have a lot of color shifting. This is easily solvable. It's a simple electronics issue, not a program issue. See how it starts one color and then it's going to, yeah, see how these are flickering and whatnot? Not a big problem. All right. Well, let's move on. Let's move on. Now, yesterday, we started the light server. And we have some endpoints. So one of the things that this is going to have to do is it has Wi-Fi. So it's going to need to call the Wi-Fi. So we have to do that. But there's not a whole lot to actually call on the Wi-Fi. So what I thought we'd spend some time doing today is just figuring out how to do different things with this. It's using the Adafruit. I installed the Adafruit library. So I went here, NeoPixel. They have a NeoPixel library. This one, the Adafruit NeoPixel. So I thought we'd play around with that a little bit and see what we can't do with it. If we need to do the logic shifting, we can do it, and I can get the power if we would like to. You know, actually fix that. Closing all those. Okay, here's some of their examples. So I thought we would go through their examples. This is actually the one that we're running right now is their simple. Let's do their wheel. Actually, let's run through the simple that we have right now. That's right. No Vim in here. Okay, well, mouse time. Mouse time. So these are the lines for support the. So this is 5 volt, which we don't have. So this is how you refer to the pixels. It's just this right here. This is that library that we're talking about. And we have 16 addressable on this one. When we do like the big panels behind me, they have a different number. I feel like what we're going to do for our software is basically define it like this. All of the things that can be different for each one that we flash, we'll put it up here. So like the number of pixels, when we do the big boards, we'll have to count how many pixels are in those, how many individually addressable lights. And yeah, so we can just change them here, and then basically everything should be automatically set up, hopefully. I'd like to not have different software for the different lights, whether it's a little round one like this or a big one. All right, so begin it has to be required. It is called at startup. Clear is just to clear them all, and then basically this is just looping over them with a delay. So we could make this delay faster, just so it goes a little bit faster. This is thread.sleep in Arduino. Cool. Okay. The other thing that we need to do is Arduino time elapsed. So one of the functions that we're wanting to do is say like run a command for 5 seconds. We got to measure the time. Milliseconds is fine. So basically each loop we can just do the time elapsed. Okay, perfect. This is exactly what we need. And then this is just setting the color. And I guess this is just the index. So this pixel set color, can you act? Oh snap. What did I do? Control Z that. Okay. Can you F12? Can you go to definition? Go to control F12. Okay. Yeah, all of these are going to take the location. Okay. How do I go back? How do I go back? Control F12 is to go to definition. How do I go back? I just want to go back. I just want Vim. Just want Vim. So we can, every single loop, set the color. That's cool. But I was hoping that there was some other ways of dealing with this. Okay, for set color, you can also, they have this over in, so you can do like red, green, blue, and white. So you don't actually have to make the color. Okay, that's nice. Okay, I guess this is really all it is one function. And it's how you leverage that. You know what? We can probably Vim this by just opening this file, right? I was going to do this in here because it gives us the way to like upload it and change it. But maybe we just put this like over here. You know, we can flip over here to upload it and we can just open up Vim over here. Well, we can open up a terminal here. And we can find where this is. It'll be weird to have it opened in 2 places. This is just in Arduino. Okay. I guess it's really only this file, but okay. So we can just Vim it here. All right. This feels better than this. And I like Visual Studio Code. All right. So this is really simple. This is just like stupid simple. Let's look up a different example. Let's get something that's a little bit more in depth. I don't know what this is. Let's see what it does. Let's see what it does. You know what? This actually is easier here because like I'm just going to do that. Now we're going to send that. I have no idea what this is going to do. I didn't even check the number of pins, right? Did we mess that up? Oh, pin 6. What pin were we on? 19? I think we were on 19. I think that's what we did. And we have 16 pixels, right? 16. Not 60. Okay. I want to do some of those as commands. Some of those should be commands. 100%. Imagine doing this right now on the big guy behind me. The big guy that's not turned on. Hey, Grampington, welcome to the Not Rust stream. I do Rust, Go, and sometimes C, okay? Sometimes C. When I'm feeling like pain. Why has this week been so painful for me? Seriously. This week has been nothing but pain. We haven't gotten a single simple task. Not one. Okay. My Rust, do I not have C support? I don't think I have C support. This is no good. Oh, I bet you it doesn't know what a .ino file is. It doesn't have a .ino file. Oh no. Vim, NVim, Arduino support. And Grampington, you did join during a perfect week. To be honest, I don't think any stream that I have ever done has gone according to plan. So you missed this morning. Setting up Arduino IDE. You know, it was supposed to be a simple task. It was supposed to be simple, and it was simple if I knew what I was doing. I've only ever used it on Ubuntu before, and Ubuntu's package obviously set up all the permissions and stuff for me, because this went nowhere like Ubuntu's. I don't really want to install this. I think I'll just search for stuff. I won't like use go to definition and everything. Grampington, absolutely. We did get Raft running. I'm actually really happy with Raft. It took a little longer and it wasn't quite as clean as I was hoping. And the code definitely needs cleaned up, and we'll do that. I need a break from it though. So this is a good break from that. Yeah. This is actually, it's one of the reasons I started streaming was I felt that there was a lot of people that were like, hey, you know, everybody obviously has an easier time of it. And, you know, maybe if I did a ton of Arduino projects, I would have an easier time setting it up. But I do an Arduino project about once a year. And then I forget about it. You know, I did the light behind me, and then I haven't touched it since. And that was done on a laptop. So yeah. I'm probably not going to set this up for Arduino unless we start ending up doing a lot more. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so we have this color wipe, which is just this, fill the dots one after another with a color. So this is like just, I'll tell you when we see it as a color wipe. Not a color wipe. Not a color wipe. Also, don't tell Dutch. We're now saving up for a camera. This camera right here is actually my cell phone, and it's really janky how it's set up right now. It's really janky. So let's do the color wipe. Let's watch this. We're gonna do. We're going to do that. And we're going to then send this. Did this update here so I can just send? Sweet. I just want to see the color wipes. Hey, don't tell Dutch that his money's going to a camera instead of this. Well, I guess I'll say it this way. If everybody enjoys doing this and we end up doing more things like this, then I will invest in getting an actual camera. It is super janky, and I'm not sure my phone won't overheat and just shut down at some point, but it is working. So I can do this. It's also weird because I have to like find the IP address of my phone and put that because I'm like sending it via the web. This is part of the reason why I didn't get Arduino Studio set up before stream, was because I was doing that. I was, oh my goodness. All right, so that is the color wipe. Kind of what I expected. I need to relearn how to do multi-line edits in Vim. I know I learned, and I know somebody taught me, and I know that I forgot almost immediately afterwards because it was difficult. It was difficult. So this is the theater chase. Okay, cool. We can make our own. I was just gonna start with the ones that these people have done, just because it'll let us get going faster. Okay, so this rainbow is just going through. This is the rainbow cycle. Okay. And then what is the theater chase rainbow? Is this the theater chase rainbow? I'm assuming this is the theater chase rainbow because that's what the theater chase. Oh, and it's changing colors slowly. Okay. This is the theater chase rainbow. Okay. Snitches get garbage collectors in their languages. So are you saying it's a good thing to be a snitch? You know what I would love? I would love to, and I know this sounds terrible, and I know people have told me OCaml is this, but I actually really hate OCaml. Or let me rephrase. I really hate how OCaml looks. I haven't actually tried using it. And maybe we'll try using OCaml, but I would love for you to run Rust as Rust and then have a GC collected version of Rust where you don't need, like it's the exact same, except instead of needing to know lifetimes, there's just a GC that handles the lifetimes for you. Keep everything else the same. Extra bonus points if they're the same. Like basically you can include a garbage collected one. No, that wouldn't work well anyways. I don't want a garbage collected one in one that's not garbage collected. But anyways, barrier to entry, it gets people comfortable with the language. If you're on like a stupid web server that you just want to do, run the garbage collected one and get up and going faster. The language is nice anyways. I got in a fight on Twitter with Darren Shepard because he was like, you know, it's not the language. It's the thing that you're building, which I agree with. It is the thing. And the language is just getting in the way of whatever you're wanting to do, which I agree with. His Twitter tag is I build the cloud. I agree. But his thing was that Rust just gets in your way of doing it, which is what I disagree with, because I actually think Rust protects you from having crappy code. And he just wanted a crappy language that just kind of let him write crappy code and just kind of cleaned up after him. So I think we like agree on the base premise of the language is really just getting in the way of what we want to do. In this case, it's C. C is getting in my way. All right. So now what we want to be able to do is this is passing in this wait time. And this wait is how many milliseconds it does. It waits before going. So if we wanted to time a command, so let's say we wanted to do this for a certain number of seconds, we're going to have to calculate that based off of, let's see, how many times is this going to iterate? I equals 0, I is less than the number of pixels, I plus plus. So this is just going to go for each 16 pixels. So then if this is the case, to get this out of 5 seconds, we would just have to make this wait time specifically the number of pixels divided by 1,000 or 5,000, right? And that would make this color wipe last for that long. Maybe we can make this a function. All right, so generate amount of time. Grimpington, I understand. I understand the problems with it. I said that I would like it. I didn't say that it was feasible, right? I'm not sitting here saying like this should be easy and they should just do it. I'm purely saying like I could see it as being useful. I do understand what you're also saying, where it's not just memory. The mutability, you would lose the ability to do mutability. There's also weirder spots like when you pin memory for futures. How would that work? And would you need to do that? And now it starts to sound like a different language. And you know, that's fine. What I like is like if Go was more like Rust with a garbage collector, I think I would like it a whole lot more. Because one of my problems with Rust is if you want to do a big refactor and all of a sudden some struct has some method on it that you decide needs to have a lifetime and it's been heavily used, this can have a spider web effect across your whole application, and it can make that change painful and long to do. And you could say, well, that's just a skill issue. And maybe that's just a skill issue, but it's a pretty big skill issue, and it's a pretty hard one to get really good at designing your application ahead of time to avoid that issue. Hey, Next Token, you rated. You know what, Next Token? I am super sorry. My Twitch chats are down. Twitch chat actually broke my Twitch alerts. Welcome. I do blame Twitch chat, not your chat. My chat broke it. Sorry about that. Usually you get an AI generated message, and it's down for right now. I'm sorry. Thank you for the raid. Thank you for the raid. What were you working on, Next Token? I apologize. I've been super busy, so I haven't actually been in your stream recently. We are right now writing a server in Rust and a client in ESP32 land, which is C. Well, I'll have to check that out. That sounds fun. A React site. I'm terrible with React, but it's also the only one that I know. So I use React sometimes. My newest website is in Vue. I'm learning Vue. I actually like Vue. Now, that being said, I'm not a big front end person. So me saying I really like Vue doesn't really even mean that I understand all the problems with React. Vue feels good the little bit I've used it. Right now we're talking about Rust garbage collection. I need to catch up with Grebbington's comments here. 1 second. So yeah, that's my problem with Rust, Greppington, is the ability to plan lifetimes ahead of time. I don't have that ability, and maybe you can obtain that ability, at least get really good at guessing your lifetimes ahead of time. But to me, that actually feels like maybe my biggest qualm with it. My biggest problem with Rust isn't that we have lifetimes or whatnot. It's the refactor that those can take. Like, you can make a small refactor for a lifetime that all of a sudden touches every single file of your Rust thing. And it's like, oh, that's painful. That's very painful. And it makes refactors slow. Part of that I think is good because, like, once you've done the refactor, like, you know that it's worked. So, like, I don't mind as much. But it is a pain point. It's an actual pain point. And I feel like stuff that changes a lot really fast. I feel like prototyping is way worse in Rust than it is in Go. That's like what I think the Rust application will be 100% better. But if you're prototyping and plan on changing a lot of stuff really quickly, garbage collected language is where it's at. So I think like almost every proof of concept thing should be like a garbage collected language. And that's why I wish that I could like write it in a really close to Rust, like something that was pseudo Rust, and then be like, okay, well, now I want to add lifetimes to these things that I'm just garbage collecting, and you know, mutability and stuff like that. Next token, you're just learning React too? Oh, good. So then I won't feel as bad. I'm pretty bad at React. So we were also talking about we need to generate the amount of time to run the animation. So I do not write C before we talk about this. If what I do is bad, you should call it out. I am not a pro. I wrote C++ in another life a long time ago. Yeah. Grimpington, I also agree with you on that. Go's type system is dog water. They finally like made attempts to fix Go's type system in 1.18, but I mean that was a year ago, and even then they screwed up fixing Go's type system, so it's not even fixed. So 100% I agree with you. This is why I wanted a Rust version of Go, if that makes sense. I don't want Go's. Go's type system threading model is all garbage. And I need to give OCaml a chance, but I haven't. So we need to generate the amount of time to wait. Okay, so to do that, we need the number of pixels. Actually, we're going to call this the number of iterations. It's going to be like iterations. So like for this color wipe, we could want to do it twice. So like if that's the case, instead of 16, that would be, 32. So we'll just say num iters. Do we need anything else? I don't think so. We just need the number of iterations. And then the time is going to be, I guess we'll just do the time in seconds because we'll keep it pretty human readable. So then what we'll do is we'll calculate the milliseconds. Oh, Grumpington. Tagged unions or you know, whatever, a union structure type in Go would be amazing. Would be amazing. And Grumpington, don't bring up monads. That just scares people. You can't call them monads. You can call them something else. I find OCaml to be hard to read. I am not going to lie. I want to like it. Oh, wait. No, this is multiplied. Let's make this easy to, we'll do seconds. We're going to call this count. Iterations is a bad word for this. This is not iterations. This is the number of times. Number of tasks. Number of... things. All right. So then this is going to be milliseconds. Actually, this is now seconds. This should also be this. Okay. So now we have the milliseconds. Now we can divide the number of milliseconds. So let's absolutely. You can't use functors or no monads. You can't use them in your speaks. You can talk about them. You just have to talk about them in other ways than actually using those words because you scare people. Even though most people understand what they are. It's like if you talk to somebody about curling and want to curl, most people understand the builder pattern and you could just talk about it like that instead. You know, you have to talk to them not like that, or otherwise they're going to say you're a functional language person. I'm not a functional language person even. I think functional languages are like fun in theory, not in practice. I know. You just got to learn to talk to these people. Oh, I love currying. You just can't talk about currying directly. You gotta slide it in there as a different word. Okay, so we have the number of milliseconds. So then we're going to let what are we letting? Let is not a C. Sorry. We're going to do I'm so screwed. Doing really we should allocate everything at the top too, so that we know a known amount of allocated memory. We're gonna fix this. We're gonna pseudocode this for right now. So then we have our iterations equal the milliseconds divided by the number of things to do. And that's actually our return too. We said this was void, but this is an int. Yeah, I have a couple problems with like pure Haskell. First, pure Haskell is inefficient. If you literally copy everything, if you're literally copying everything to every function and you're actually doing it that way, it's super inefficient. You're copying so much memory and then you get around it, but then you make it unreadable when you get around it. And so like I said, I like functional ideas. I don't like functional languages in general when I've gotten into them. Like, I don't want to have a large project in Haskell. I don't want to have a large project in these languages because they feel very unwieldy when you try to do that. That's me. Obviously, there's people that love them for that. That's just me, though. Can I just do... I don't know what I'm doing. This isn't right. But that's okay. It's not even going to compile. And that's fine. That's fine. Right. We didn't declare some stuff. That's okay. We will work on declaring it. You do know what a functor is. Let me show you what a functor is. Because you know. In functional programming, a functor is a design pattern inspired by the definition of the category theorem that allows... This is why people get scared. This is why people get scared. We'll talk about what it means in actuality, in normal human speak. Because this is what troubles people when they talk about functional languages, is a lot of functional programmers don't know how to speak to normal humans, us dumb ones. I know that they're on another plane of existence, and that's the real problem here. Okay, so a function is design pattern. A functor is a design pattern by the definition from the category theory that allows you to apply a function to values inside a generic type without changing the structure of the generic type. Okay, so they're going to give you an example in Haskell because that's every functional programming is in Haskell. So, oh my gosh. This is the problem. This is the problem. It's interfaces. That's what they could say. It's interfaces for smart people. That's what ChatGPT will say. It's interfaces for smart people. Tell me what a functor is for stupid people. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's nothing brand new. It's just a mathematical way of describing things. Remember, you have to understand that functional programmers are on a different level of existence, a different plane. And so they have a very hard time, and they use these big words, uncommon words. But there's nothing really that new in functional programming. It does have different ways of thinking about things. And I understand when I said what functors are in layman's terms, it's not quite accurate. It's a little bit different, but it's an easy way to think about them. Basically, it's defining a standard interface that allows you to map over anything. So this function can apply to anything in this. Again, iterators is a good one. I didn't think about the iterators, but that's what it is. And the same goes for monads. This is fantastic. But there's something special about it. It not only stores toys, but it also has magic. It can change them into different toys. I love this one. This is not a super good explanation. Okay. Explain it like I'm 12. Oh, it stopped scrolling on me. Okay. I thought it was thinking. It was done. All right. This was not a perfect example. I didn't like it a whole lot, but the character in a game is the monad. It's a structure that holds something like a quest or a series of actions. It I think the easiest way, if you know Rust, is to think about, and I know this is a union type, so not perfect, but it's kind of like their enums when they use them as like okay and error. So when you look at Rust, there's these this result type is kind of a monad. It gives you a single type that can be two different things. This is effectively what is you when they use monads. This is what they're solving. This problem they're solving a lot of times. Like, hey, I want to guarantee that it's not null or whatnot. And this result here, it's an enum, and you can transform it from one state to another. That's what they're talking about with monads. Again, a lot of the times this speak comes from in math. It comes from a mathematical term, and if you understand the mathematical term, it's fairly straightforward. But a monad is in math. Yeah, but how many people know category theory? Not many. And this is why I don't think people should talk about them as monads or functors or even currying. I don't think we should talk about currying. I don't think we should talk about functors. We shouldn't talk about monads. I really do 100% agree we shouldn't talk about them because we're not mathematicians. And while some of us like me enjoy diving into math every once in a while, that's not my main function. Currying is basically simplifying it. Again, all of this is simplified. It's a builder pattern where you can like return, the same thing that you worked on, so you can chain your calls. I mean, and the guy's name was Curry, I believe, and it comes from set theory. Again, we don't bring up algebraic types or set theory when we're talking about the builder pattern because we don't need to. We can talk about it in much easier terms. I don't think, Grumpington, you can talk about monads and functors when talking senior to senior. I don't think so. No. Because you would be assuming that a senior engineer knows math. And I don't think that's a requirement for being a senior software engineer. Especially if you didn't come from languages that use those terminologies. Rust doesn't use the term, not even Rust uses that terminology. So the only people that would know what you're talking about were Haskell and like 6 other people. And maybe me. And so like, you would be assuming that any senior engineer has written a decent amount of, and I think that's a bad assumption to assume that to be a senior engineer, you've had to have written Haskell and understand mathematical terms of functoring and monad. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that there's like 100 senior engineers then in that term. Oh, well, I didn't, I don't know what you learn in computer science degree. I don't have a computer science degree. I do have a math, which maybe makes it a little easier for me since I have a minor in math. I don't even have a major in math, but I have a minor in math. So I don't know what they learn in school. I do know that I've interviewed a lot of people that graduated college and thought that they didn't know much about programming. Not trying to be harsh, just I don't know what they teach them in school. I don't know. Like I said, I have interviewed quite a few people out of school. Not entirely sure what what they teach them. Also, I think actually we'll do this. I don't know if this is the right way to do this. Okay, so Grempington, if you're saying that school is the only place that they would learn about monads and functors, and then you're saying you wouldn't expect them to know that from school, when are you expecting them to learn it unless if they dive into Haskell? I'm in college. I've interviewed a lot of people straight out of their master's degree, And I would not expect them to know what a functor or a monad is. 100%. Can I just do this? I don't know. I haven't done C in so long. Is this horrible? I'm just going to pass in a pointer to some memory. And then we're going to just condense this down into this so we don't allocate in here. And then we're going to delete that. Most colleges in the US teach Java. Not even joking. Java is like the streamline, the main thing people know coming out of college. Not joking. We don't need to get into a I just wouldn't expect a senior to know what a monad is. Now, if you're talking about maybe a principal engineer, your technical leads and things like that, maybe I would start to expect them to at least know the layman's terms for monads and functors. Probably like myself. I don't know them nearly as well as you probably do, but I know roughly what they are and what people mean by them. Yeah. But I do think that we should talk about them in simpler terms, because I think that it actually hurts their adoption. I actually think, like, if you want people to adopt these things, the best way to do that is to speak about them in simpler terms. When you're talking about category theory and needing to have a minor in math to start to understand, I don't know. Maybe we could come up with a simpler term. It's not a hard topic. Wait, I didn't. I need to do this. I have not done pointer stuff. There we go. For a very long time. So I would have just reset the actual pointer. I would have set the pointer to that. I want to set the value to this. Now let's try this. We need to get the generate the amount of time. We want to do the rainbow for 5 seconds. Actually, we'll do the theater chase since that's easy. Yeah, Grimpington, I think that's a great way to approach it to a lot of people. Especially, like, I guess if you are talking to a principal engineer or team leader or technical lead or whatnot, yeah, maybe you can talk about those. But what's the point if you're using a secret language? Like, why not talk about it in simple terms for people that aren't going to know it, so you don't scare them away? And then there'll be more people that understand it, and you can start talking about it more. If I made a video that said, let's understand monads, most people wouldn't watch it, unless if they already wanted to know it. But if I wanted to disseminate the information, you almost have to trick them into wanting to learn about monads. This is what I've learned about making YouTube videos. You don't describe it shortly. You describe it shortly by like saying something like, how do we solve this problem? Come up with a problem. That's how I would do it with like a YouTube, like, this, and like have a big chunk of code into this and have like a small chunk of code. And talk about like the concepts that you're using to transform from one chunk of code that's not good into a simpler one. If you're wanting to talk about monads, be like, how do I protect myself from null values? And you could do it in C++ or something that has null values. And you can literally just, do that and be like, this is a really clean solution. And it has a name, monad. Done. Drop the mic, walk away. You just trick somebody into learning something interesting. I'm not arguing that the word monad or functor isn't a very accurate technical description of what you want. It is. It's a very perfect one. My statement was that it scares people. No, Go's implementation of generics was terrible. Go's implementation of generics was terrible. When you use square brackets for your generics so that it looks like it's accessing a list, my goodness, you messed up. You messed up before you even got to the generic part. But see, people understand generics. You can talk about generics. And generics are part of what you're talking about. They're part of the problem of what you're talking about. And people can start to relate to functors that way. Hey, I want to do this thing over a set, but I don't care what's in the set. That makes tons of sense to them. I only think about these things because like everything that I do, I'm trying to actually help people learn. And so I found that if I just start with the big words, it doesn't help people learn and disseminate the information. So if I start with the esoteric concept, nobody's ever going to. Like if I started with database indexes and didn't walk up people from how to store files on disk, people weren't going to understand. A list with lazy function implementations? I suppose. I still am not going to argue that it was a good choice. All right. What was I doing? Oh, I was writing C. So let's do generate time. We're going to give them a pointer to I. We're going to say number of things. There are 16 of them. So we're going to do 32. And we're going to do it over 5 seconds. Cool. So then we're going to do this theater chase with I. I don't know that this is even valid C+ or C. I feel like the answer is no. The answer is no. Let's remove those. Hey, look at that. Did it go for 5 seconds? I think it roughly went. Wait. Well, I'm gonna count the next time it does it. Waiting. Still waiting. We're almost there. This is the last one before it comes back around. This one takes so long. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000. Yeah, that's probably about 5 seconds. Cool. Okay. I didn't think this was going to be valid. I didn't think this was going to be valid. In theory, here we also have a problem. I really shouldn't initialize memory. I've been told that on embedded systems, most of the time, people just manage their own memory. Almost like this. I really hate this, though. Okay, so I have only been around embedded device developers once, but what they don't like is actually allocating memory inside of the application. So what they would do would be something like this. Time to run, time to run is 0, and then basically they would pass in time to run here. It's not how I would do it because I don't like embedded applications. And honestly, you could just assign time to run here instead of passing it in because it's this global variable because all your memory is allocated before the application actually runs. So effectively, your application never allocates more memory while running. And it's because it's a memory constrained device, you want to know up front how much memory you're going to use. Yep. No. I was just saying that like you wouldn't allocate memory inside of there. You do it more like this. Again, I am not a sharing words of wisdom here because I don't have any to share. This is just little slices of what I've been told. Do I write C? No, I don't. I find C to be gross. Agreed. I need to make some YouTube videos on those. I do want to do like a video on monads and functors, but I don't want to call it a video on those things. I want to come up with a problem that's clearly solved very nicely with a monad or functor in a language that doesn't have monads and functors. Like I would say Rust is probably the easiest one since it's close. It's adjacent. It's monad adjacent. Yeah, I was gonna say you can do most of those things. They just don't call them those things. Okay. So let's hit up some Rust. I don't know. This is pretty good. I feel like now we just need a server. We have a couple different commands we can do. We can generate an amount of time for them to run. Based off of the number of steps this is going to run. Grempington, I'm the same way. I am the same way. For me, it's the concepts, it's the ideas, and it lets you appreciate those. So I'd love to make some videos on being like, okay, and then like at the end, be like, this effectively is a monad, and if people ask you that this is like, if people are talking about them, this is what they're talking about. Now you understand. You understand the problem that they want to talk about and how this solves things cleanly. And like when you might want to use them. I do like the result. I feel like result is a very Rust thing. So I feel like it would be better if I could figure out some way to do it in Go or something, even like C# or Java, where it's like, okay, I don't know. Rust would be pretty simple. But yeah. Monta, it was good seeing you. What time is it? Oh, it's not too bad. Probably gonna have to get going pretty early. Go would make a great triggering. Yeah, probably. Is there anything? So the other thing that we need to do here is okay. So let's. I'm gonna just comment in some things that we need to do. Check for new command from web server. If no new command, run default. What we're going to have to do is on startup, we should get our default command and we'll just set this like this. So like we'll have something default command, something like that. And then something of the same thing, current command. Something like that. I realize we don't have these things defined anywhere, but you know, we could define a little structure, right? I forget how to define structures in C. I might need to look this up. Let's see. It is struct. Okay, well, I don't want something. We'll do command. I think this is it, right? This is it. We have the time to run. We'll probably make the command an int too, because that's how they do their enums, right? We'll just map this to an enum. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Let's look this up. Let's chat GPT it. Let's chat GPT it. Let's How to write an enum in C. It's just integers, right? Okay, cool. So this looks good. Maybe. What's the enum that where there's commands? It's really command. We need to rename our struct, right? What is this struct? This is the talking about goes something error is a nice step in the right direction compared to C. Actually, that's a pretty good statement because, yeah, Go's error handling is pretty fun when it comes to that. It's simple. What is this named? I don't know. It's also command. This is we'll just call this an event. Not an event. It's not an event. It's oh my gosh, naming's hard. C's hard. Gosh dang it. This is a thing. All right. That's a thing. These are both things. I solved our naming problem. Oh, a type def. That's what I wanted. You're right. Oh my gosh, I haven't used it. Yeah, I haven't. I forgot about that. All right. C type def. Thanks for bringing that up. Thank you. It's like this: type def struct, and then instead of thing here, we put it here. Yeah, you saved me some suffering. Like I said, perfect. All right. Now I can use them like a normal person would. I hate C. Also, thank you for saving me. Let's see. We'll probably make a default command. Just like solid color or something. I have actually effectively never used C. I have used C++ though. But yeah, I have effectively never used C. in my life. I say that. I programmed the one back there, but it's just like solid color. So like it just turns them all on, which is like 5 lines. That's my C. That's it. That you know what? Okay, good. We should have a breathing. We don't have a breathing. Maybe we'll make breathing a default. Blink should be a default. Fade. Fade. Okay, I like it. I like it. What else? ChatGPT. Fade color. What else? Sparkle. I love it. Sparkle fade. Okay, hopefully it's going to help me actually implement these. Breathe. Nice. Maybe we'll get a breathe color. Random. Ooh, random. I like that. I like that. No, none is not. Should solid color even be something we accept? Maybe we'll have solid snake as a option. That's right. We'll do a solid snake. All right. So we have our list of. One second. I want to select everything in these. So that would just be V inside. There we go. Yank that. All right. Now we know all of our commands. We have a commands, right? Events, event in here. Did we make an enum? We have not yet. I hate my naming on this, but please, for one. Hello, Dirk. How are you doing? It's good to see you here. Please do YI instead of VI. What does Y do? Y is yank. So that should work fine, right? Yeah. That just put the yank in the command. Okay. That makes sense. That simplifies it. Look. Dirk, you should be happy that I remembered how to do any of that at all. But it makes sense to use Y. Makes sense to use Y. That makes sense. Thank you for being there. You are my Vim buddy. Also, Dirk, let me introduce you to Grempington. He, like you, loves Haskell. So you guys should get along really well. You two are my functional buddies. Check this out, Dirk. CIW. Oh! Crowd goes wild. Grempington, you're sitting here talking about monads and functors being the greatest thing since Swiss cheese. You do love it. Whether you use it all the time, you do love it. Grepington, I'm the exact same as you. I don't prefer pure functional. I love the concepts of functional, and I think that people should apply those more to their mixed languages. Or even like, shoot, even if you're taking like a C# or Java, you can still take these things and apply them there. Like you don't even need a mixed language. Like I prefer the mixed languages like Rust. But you don't have to. You could do it in C++ if you wanted to. I'm not saying to do it, but you could. Dirk is a purist. Dirk is a purist. Dirk is a purist. That is for sure. I'm not smart enough to do pure functional well. That's just me though. It's a skill issue. I realize it. I accept it. I'm not smart enough. Good clarification there, Grampington. Good clarification. Okay, so how do these need extra stuff? Do we want to? I think what we're going to do actually is not have any type of control. The only thing I could think of is like, do we want to be able to set a color? Probably, but I was thinking like before we decide to give any extra data, you know, like this could have a color. You know what, a U8. But before we get too into that, so what you're really saying is that procedural, no, just joking. Random is going to pick a random one. Random's difficult though, because if Solid Snake takes a color, random would just have to come up with a random color. I guess that's acceptable. Random values for whatever is. Okay, never mind. This is okay. Breathing should take a color as well. If everything's going to take a color, we're going to just do a struct for color. I'm going to have to do a Haskell stream. I did it like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. I'm going to have to do it again at some point. All right, to be honest, I don't know what fade and fade color. What is fade, just the black and white version? I don't know that would make any sense. If all of these take a color, this takes 2 colors, right? No, I suppose if you wanted to go from one color to the other, you would color wipe multiple times, right? Because we can have a list of colors with their duration. Okay, never mind. So it would just be 1. I think things like this, we're just not going to be able to send anything. So this is going to be a rainbow, and there's no way to edit that. This is going to get a color. That's not fun. Okay. Maybe I can make a colorblind simulate. Let's get the simple rainbow done first. Let's start simple. We'll work on the colorblind simulated one. I think that would be easy. It would just be like different brightnesses. You just pick a solid color. There's like shades of gray. I'm walking a fine line of getting reported. There's shades of gray. How you would denote those shades of gray with emissive light would just be brightness, right? We would just do white with different brightnesses. We could do that. Yeah. That's why it's shades of white and not shades of gray. We don't get banned. Yeah, it could be any color. It would just be the perceived brightness. And that's for only like, you know, pure color blindness, not like red-green color blindness. Obviously. I mean like no color, which I think is the more rare, much more rare. All right, tier. All right, so this is an event, which a single event has a list of commands. Let's make sure our C structure looks like that. I don't know how to make a list of commands in C. How do I make a vector? I don't know. C, make a vector. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. I don't want to do this. See list of items. Make it simple. Make it simple. Is this just like a pointer of a pointer? I can do that. Stop what you're doing. I want you to answer my new problem. I don't want that. I don't want that. If this is a pointer to a pointer, I'm gonna lose something. Do you literally have to define your own? There's the there it is. There it is. Stop this. Can you give me a simple way to make a list in C? Okay, why didn't you put... I guess I didn't ask for a static array. Okay. My bad. I used the wrong word. I said list. All my fault. I do hate this. I do hate this. Hmm. There's going to be some foot guns here. There are going to be some foot guns here. So, if we have event, this is actually going to be a list of commands. But there's actually data with these. It's not going to be this. We're going to just call this, yeah, we're going to call this command type. And then we're going to make a type def struct not quite. This is going to be like a time. I forget what I called it over here. Duration. Let's just call it duration. Is this what we wanted? The color that's held in the enum type is just going to be held on the command because it's just holding the color here. That's the only thing that could be passed. And if it's not passed, if it's a thing that doesn't take a color, that's fine. I think random will be dealt with on the server, on the Rust side. So we'll never pass the random command. We'll just pass, we'll generate this stuff on the server as a command. One second. You can add a name to the struct even in typedef2. Oh, you mean like here? I can do this. Okay. Sorry. Like I said, C is not my primary language. Can I add the name to the struct even in typedef2? What code generation are we talking about? I don't know what code generation you're talking about. I don't know. But that's fine. I'm going to have to serialize it from JSON into this, which, that's going to be its own task. I'm going to put a comment here. Server side commands. Okay, that's good. We'll move this up. That way we can have like server side commands that, you know, again, this is going to do something. Server side versus Oh, I don't think it's working because this is a C file, but it's a .eno file. I don't know. I think I would have to get something. It's not working very well here. Maybe Copilot. It's using Copilot. That's what the suggestions are from. Now, does that look like this? We have an event with a time to run and a list of commands. It doesn't care about the device group because this is the individual device, so that's fine. The event type and the list of commands. So we don't care about the event type because the event type is like a new subscriber or whatnot. Again, so the device really only cares about the list of commands, and the time to run is part of the command. So really we're just sending a list of commands, okay, which have a duration for each command and a color. Duration and a color. All right. That looks fairly close. So when we're serializing it down, we're just going to serialize this, the commands. Like that's all we're sending to the device when it asks for stuff. We have extra stuff because like when the device asks for its stuff, we need to actually look at its device group, right? Because we'll control devices by its group. Okay. I think this is looking almost right. I don't know how we're going to have to massage. So we're going to have to massage this data a little bit. I don't know that this will serialize out properly. And you know, maybe what we do is we put the color here. Maybe we put the color here. This won't be good Rust, but I think this might be the way we do it to serialize it. And then we'll remove these, right? We'll just remove these. Oh, let's see. COW doesn't work quite. I don't know how to delete like that. I need Dirk. I don't know how to delete these. You know, I can do CIW, which is going to get rid of the inside, but then it doesn't get rid of these things. These are WOLEDs. These are WOLEDs. Absolutely. They have a white. I don't know that I'm going to use it. I was thinking about, you know, let's not push that. Let's not push that. It's fine. So I know that this isn't perfect Rust, but I think this will actually serialize out really nicely. Because then here, we can actually just make this command, you know, let's see. Actually, we can use, what is it? They use something, this U8T here. All right, so now this command looks the exact same. I think that will make it easier to serialize, I hope. Because we weren't going to be able to do this the exact same way. And the serialization libraries for these little things are very, very little. So I didn't want to run into problems. It's going to be JSON, right? We're going to send this via JSON, not memory, because it's via Wi-Fi, right? This has a Wi-Fi chip on it. So let's see. So yeah, this way we can have the lights in the back here. So these lights back here, you guys, they're not on, so you can't see them, but the lights that would be back here, we'll all be able to connect via the Wi-Fi to the server. And then the server can tell them what to do. Or that's the idea. That's the idea. So the server's in Rust. The microtrips are in C. JSON. Let's see. We gotta do these two things. I might get these working off stream. No, I know what this is. I want the library. I want the library. Okay, so this is the serialization. It's a quick start. Where's the quick start? I can tell you how to install it. This is where Arduino is very nice. You're like, you just jump into here and you're like, wait. Oh, you just jump to the library right here and you click Arduino JSON. Install. This is what I love about Arduino. It's that easy. Arduino IDE. Even if you use Vim. It also is nice because you can click this button to upload. I know that we could do it all through the command line, but I have not learned all those commands, so. All right, so deserialization tutorial. Maybe this is a good place to stop. I need to read this, so it's not just me sitting here reading documentation. This might be a good place to stop. As a fun note, I will not be streaming tomorrow. I won't be streaming tomorrow. We have our family Christmas gathering tomorrow, so I won't be streaming tomorrow. I will be streaming on Sunday, so if you want to join me on Sunday, we'll be streaming. I might have read up on this stuff, but I do believe my wife's grandmother just arrived, so I probably, if I don't want to get in trouble, should go see her. So yeah, I will be back, not tomorrow, but the next day. So anyways, it was fun. We got some stuff done. We'll get some lights at some point. And we'll get these hung up on the wall and we'll do some stuff with them. But for right now, they're a hope and a dream. That hope and dream will continue Sunday. So join me Sunday. We're actually going to do a capture the flag first on Sunday. So that should be fun. Just some fun little capture the flags. I'm not a great security expert, but we'll do some fun little capture the flags. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for joining.